Hi and welcome back to my channel. So for this video I thought I would do a sketchbook tour, flip through, whatever you want to call it, and I thought I would just go through, because I finished this sketchbook, and just talk about bits that I like. Sorry if you can hear that, it's an ice cream van in the distance, and in this room that I'm at, it just sometimes feels as if you can hear everything outside, so apologies if you can hear that. So for this I just thought I'd talk through things that I like that I've done in the sketchbook, things that I don't like so much, because I think it is important to talk about things that maybe haven't gone right, or didn't go the way we planned, or that we didn't like, or things that we've potentially used to progress on, or things like that. And so I've got people walking past the window as well, so apologies if you can hear that as well. So this is a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook, which I'll just pop that there, hopefully you can see that, which I got from Jackson's Art. Now when I ordered it, I honestly, it was more of a thought, I don't think I read it properly, and that it was a beige tone sketchbook, so when it came I was a bit like, oh, that wasn't what I thought. I thought it was going to be like a creamy white coloured paper, and it wasn't, and I was a bit like, oh no, not sure if I will like that. Anyway, I have really liked using it, and I have really enjoyed things that I've done in it. I do like the tone of it. Whether I'll buy one again regularly, I'm not sure. It could come in potentially handy, depending on what type of work you're doing, but I have liked using it. I do like the paper. It's really thick, thick paper. It's not textured, although it does have, as you can see here, it has like flecks in the paper, but I don't know how many pages it has in it, but anyway, so enough of me rambling on a bit about the sketchbook itself. So onto the work. So I always feel like, I mean, I get really precious about sketchbook. If I get a really lovely sketchbook, I get worried about using it in case I mess up the first page, which always happens. I always mess it up, so I don't know why I worry about it. And now I've got to a stage where I don't worry about it anymore, because it's inevitable. I feel like, for me at the moment, it's inevitable that I will ultimately do something on the first page that I'm not that keen on. There's a few times when I haven't, and I've liked what I've done on the first page, but ultimately I've stopped worrying about it, because otherwise then you don't use it, and I just look at it as a way to think, well, I can just grow from that, or move on from that, or learn from that, or whatever. So this is a good example of that. I don't like this page. I didn't like it before, I don't like it now. So if you can see, there's lots of texture in here. I did this sort of, but I don't know, I just put a load of, I think it was like acrylic gouache down in colours. I didn't really like it, and I felt like, oh, well, that's the first page ruined. And then as I was progressing through the sketchbook, I thought, I'll go back and work over the top of it. I think I've put on neo colour, pencil, and felt like I'd sort of done something, salvaged it a bit, but ultimately I don't really like it. However, it's better than it was initially, but I'm not that keen on it. But yeah, so moving on from that one. Not quite sure. I was obviously testing something out there. Then I've done these just some poppy seed heads, which I've done with I think it was the Pitt, let me have a look, Pitt Artist, I'm just looking to see what they're called, Pitt Artist Matte Graphite, but I'm not sure because I haven't made a note. Oh, Pitt Graphite Matte pencils. It's either them or the Lyra or the Rembrandt pencils. I'm not quite sure. I haven't made a note. You see later in this sketchbook I've made a sort of a note of what I've used, which is quite good, but I haven't wrote that one, but I do quite like that. That was just a pencil drawing initially, but I've added that in later. I like this when I did it. I don't like it now. I'm not keen on it. I think I went a bit too far with the flower drawings, and I've added these on, which I wanted to incorporate these somehow. It's a bit too, I'm not quite sure. I do like the colour. This is, I think it's, do you pronounce it sanguine? A colour in oh, it's in, it looks like a tailor's chalk. I can't remember what it's called, but I used that on the background. And then these are in various medium on top, and these are obviously stuck onto the page. But yeah, I'm not keen on that one. And I've left a page. These I love. There's a few of these in here. So I was doing some work in another, I was working alongside this sketchbook in another sketchbook and doing similar exercises in here. So these were like sort of just little exercises, layering down different like watercolors, inks, and then working on top and seeing how it was just a little like sort of like warm-up type exercises, but also like seeing how different mediums work together, seeing how like colour combinations that I wanted to use that I liked, just basically having you know, just using a sketchbook for what you would use it for, which is experimenting, seeing how things work, seeing how you want to progress things. So I have made a note on this one, and I've also stamped. So this was in April of this year, 1st of April, and I was using Payne's Grey watercolours, Carmine watercolour, and Luminant pencils laid on the top, and Holbein, the soft white Holbein pencil. And then again, more of these. So because I was working alongside two sketchbooks, I was layering stuff on the other sketchbook while that was drying. I was doing layers on here and vice versa, and then drying them, layering on top. So again, this was 1st of April, and these were Neocolor 2 on top of watercolours. And this one was, no, that one was Neocolor 2 over the top of watercolours, and this one was watercolour markers. So it's just using the different materials that we've got. And then these are the Ecoline or Ecolina. I don't know. I think you're supposed to pronounce it Ecolina, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. So these are liquid watercolours, Payne's Grey watercolour as well, Luminance pencils, soft white. And this has got watercolours again, and Luminance pencils, and the Holbein soft white. And I've thoroughly enjoyed doing these. They work nicely on this colour paper as well, particularly seascapes, because you can sort of, not so much on that one there, but you can sort of use a bit of the tone of the paper for like the sand, like on here, etc. You can use that to your advantage. So this one here was sketching, and then obviously this pencil is being worked on top of that. And this one, basically some of them, it's where the ink falls, and then I've used that for that, but obviously some of it's placement as well. This is the Diamine ink in Earl Grey. I love the Earl Grey Diamine ink. I think it's my favourite Diamine ink that I have. it gives you some gorgeous tones, which you can't see as much on here because of the tone of the paper, but it gives you some gorgeous tones on light colour paper. I've used a multitude of things. I do like this one. It's a bit like, it looks a bit like busy, because it's very like the marks and everything on it, but I do quite like this. So this is using various medium, and obviously like layering up. Again, just seeing how it works, using like luminance pencils and nail colours, watercolours, mixing in gouache as well. And then I love this one. I think this was the jelly gouache. Is it the Himi or the Himi jelly gouache that I have? I love the colour palette at the bottom. Haven't made a note of what I've used, but I love the colour palette at the bottom. It's like Moore's colours with it, and then I've added this I think that's in Mars Violet pencil, but I'm not sure, but I do quite like a Mars Violet for like Heather, Moore's and the sheep. I do like that, and the clouds. I love the colour on that one. Really, really love that one. Again, bright. I think again this was the jelly gouache laid down and then laid on top with nail colour pencils. Same on here. I think that was the gouache. Not quite sure. Or it might just been pencils, potentially. Not sure, but it's for the Moors, like Teesdale Moors, up in the northeast. The heather and everything, so it's just in little white houses for the Raby estate, which is again in Teesdale in the northeast, and then the little sheep and everything. This was just, again, just some putting, I don't even know what it was. It must be some in either ink or watercolour. Put it down as a background, and then I've laid something on top just to quick sketch. This one was part of some little canvas work that I was doing, which they are up for sale on my shop at the moment, which I'll link below. So this again was just abstract moors, using I think it could have been look, the Derwent ink tints, or potentially acrylic. It's either one of those, and then I've laid up with nail colour, etc. And I do like that. It was for an abstract mirrors. This, I'm not keen on these colours or anything, and these are the acrylic, let me get acrylic paint pens, which the Liquitex acrylic paint pens, which I might do a video on. I could potentially do a video on like my best art supply buys and the worst art supply buys, in the sense that there's nothing wrong with them, but they were the worst ones as in that I don't particularly like them for what I want to use them for. And I haven't really found, I've got 3, 4 of these Liquitex markers, and I'm not really keen on them. I don't really like, I haven't found a way to make them work for me the way that I want to use them, and they haven't worked out the way that I thought they would work out for me. So I feel like they've been a bit of a waste of money for me, in the sense of there's nothing wrong with them, I just find they don't work for me at the moment. So unless I can find a way to get them to work for me, they'll be going in my not so good buy. So that was using them, and I just didn't like it. I don't like this either. I think this is acrylic, the golden heavy bodied acrylic, mixed in with some Payne's grey and something else. It's potentially laid over the top of something else, because I think there's something else sitting on there, and I'm not keen on that at all. I do quite like a pink with a Payne's grey though, but yeah, I'm not keen on that page. This again was just something I was doing alongside canvas and paperwork that I was doing. It's using acrylic fluid. I've just put this up on my Instagram. I had a page here that hadn't, it just had a background of the jelly gouache on it, which I hadn't done anything with. I thought, oh, I'll do something with that. Now what I've done is the colours were quite bright, and if you see, you could see this like bright blue underneath, and I've sort of knocked that colour back using, I think I used the Neo Pastels, which are these, to knock it back, and a bit of Neo colour, but I think mainly the Neo Pastels, just to mute the colour down. And then obviously I've put some Neo colour and pencil work, and added this, and you know, and it's made like a nice little river scene. This was just a background. I haven't thought of anything to do with it, so although the sketchbook's finished, you know, it's something. I'm not keen on the colour really, although they're quite a nice muted combination, but I wasn't keen on the background, so I haven't really thought of anything to do with that one. Oh, that one, I think that was just some ink. This one was one again I've just recently posted. Really like this one. This was just some sort of ink. I don't know if it was the Diamine Earl Grey or if it was a different ink. It might have been a sketch ink. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was only the one ink as well, which potentially separated into this pinky colour here, and then I've added on some extra pink and created a little scene, and not added anything over here. I did this and I thought, well, what am I going to do with that, because I haven't got anything over here, but I quite like this space here that doesn't have anything on it, and then you've just got this like little scene, it draws your eye in, so I quite like that. And then the last three are ones that I don't, well, this one's not as bad actually. I looked back at it the other day and I thought it's not as bad as I thought it was, and I was trying to sketch, this was the one that I ended up liking, and I was sketching a beach in the northeast, and it just wasn't working the way I want. Although actually when I look at this, I quite like, and I can't even remember what it was, but I quite like this colour here and the texture. I don't like the sky, not keen on that, but I do quite like how the sea has turned out in this here. So I do quite like this fade, like muted wash that's gone on here, and I like this, but I'm not as keen on the sky. And then this one I'm not keen on at all, and you can see I've overworked whatever it was on here. I think, I don't know what I've used here, I think this is mark as some sort of pen on here, and it started to like disturb the fibers in the paper, so like peel up on the page. And I quite like this texture of the landscape, but I don't like the sea. I quite like the white on there, but I'm not keen on that. And this is the one ended up like, I think I had to correct the sea on this one, but I don't mind this one. But there's elements that could be better. So I suppose if because I don't like the sand on this one, but I do like the sound on that. So if you sort of swapped it, and then I do think that that is nicer than that, for example, but I do quite like the C on here. So yeah. Oh, and then that is just a little bit of it, just experimenting. And that's my finished Strathmore sketchbook. See you in the next video.